Hey everyone, it's Valerie of A Sensing Soul, and today's Saturday, May 9th, 2026. I hope you're doing good. I thought I'd share a story with you today, and it's a story about how I became interested in the angels and the angelic realm. And before I get started on that, I have to share a little story about when my father was alive. He absolutely adored breakfast foods. He wanted it any time of day, and he loved coffee, so much so that when he worked in Costa Rica, he bought a suitcase specifically just to transport coffee back from Costa Rica to the States. And he and my mother would cut it, it was rather strong coffee, so cut it so it was more palatable. But anyway, so there's that. Okay, there was a week, this was several years ago, where I had two friends who didn't know each other. And for some reason, they both felt guided to give me a little like figurine of an angel. And I had never ever expressed any interest in the angels or angelic realm or anything. And I found it puzzling. It was just so odd and so out of place. And never in my life had someone given me a little figurine of an angel. And here I had had two people do it. Well, beyond that, there was a song on the radio about an angel. There was a movie advertised about an angel. I think I saw a billboard or something that had an angel on it. So I thought, okay, God, you're really trying to send me a message here. And I thought, I'm going to go to the lake house this weekend, and I'm going to do, go out there because it's nice and quiet and I don't have a lot of distractions, and do a little meditation, and then I'm gonna ask. So that's exactly what I did. I went to the family lake house and I did a nice 20-30 minute meditation. And at the end, I said, okay, God, what's the deal with the angels? I said, is there a particular angel that is connected to me and or my family? And I immediately got a name, and the name was Muriel. And if I had tried to choose a more perfect angel, I could not have. I was like, I have never heard of Archangel Muriel. I thought, I've got to look this up. So I did. And her name, Muriel, comes from the, frankincense and myrrh, from myrrh. And it means perfume of God. She is over the psychic sense of smell. She's also over empaths, which I happen to be. And I think you probably are as well, if you're watching this. But anyway, she's over the psychic sense of smell. Well, there was a situation after my father died where my husband and my mother and myself, independent of each other, had the exact same experience. And it went like this. I had a brand new baby. We had just moved from Florida to back up to Atlanta to help my mother sell her house, the house I grew up in. And I was waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning, probably to, feed my new baby. And every time I'd wake up, I'd smell coffee and bacon, and it made me think of my father. And it was rather comforting. Well, one night, inadvertently, I woke my husband up, and I was very careful not to ask him a leading question like, are you smelling this? I just said, have you smelled anything out of place or unusual in the last, recently? And he said, strange you say that, because a couple of days ago I smelled sausage and coffee. And I said, So I told him what had been going on with me for about, 5 days or a week. It's been 30 years. I don't really remember exactly. And so we both just, were in awe when we discussed, discovered that both of us had been having the same experience. Well, days pass, and we're downstairs in the dining room, having our morning coffee or whatever. And my mother, who was a late riser because she stayed up late, came in, and she said to my husband, she said, Don, she said, I woke up and it was still dark outside, and I thought, I smelled bacon and coffee, and I thought you were up awful early fixing the weekend breakfast that, he usually did. And she went in the kitchen and there was nothing there. Well, my husband and I, our mouths just fell open, and then we had to share our experience too. So this was the beginning of my journey with being interested in the angels and the angelic realm. If you have any stories about angels you'd like to share, please do so in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and I'll talk to y'all later. Have a blessed day.